Good morning, students. I hope you are all fine. It's our social studies class, and I am your teacher, Sir Daud Shokat. Today, we are going to start a very interesting chapter about ancient China. It's chapter number 11. China is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, and it has a very rich history, culture, and traditions. It is located in the continent of Asia and it lies to the northeast of Pakistan. For thousands of years, people in China developed great ideas, built strong structures, and made important discoveries that are still remembered today. Dear students, in this chapter, we will learn about some important parts of ancient Chinese history. First, we will understand how different rulers in early China tried to protect their lands by building walls, which later became the famous Great Wall of China. Then, we will study about a powerful ruler, Qin Shi Huang, who united China and became its first emperor. After that, we will explore the amazing discovery of the Terracotta Army near Xi'an, which shows us how important the emperor was even after his death. Finally, we will learn about silk making and how Chinese traders traveled on the Silk Road to sell silk to different parts of the world. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how ancient China people lived, worked, and made their country strong and famous. Now, dear students, I am going to read from the book. First, I will read and then I will explain it. The first heading is The Great Wall of China. China is in the continent of Asia. It is to the northeast of Pakistan. About 2500 years ago, the rulers of parts of China built walls around their lands. These walls became the Great Wall of China, the longest wall in the world. Dear students, now I am going to explain it. China is a large country in Asia and it is located to the northeast of Pakistan. In ancient times, China was not one united country. Instead, it was divided into many small regions and each region had its own ruler and people. These rulers wanted to protect their lands and people from enemies. So they built walls around their territories. These walls were very important because they helped stop attacks and kept the people safe inside. Over time, these small walls became more important and some of them were joined together. This is how the idea of a long, connected wall started. Around 2500 years ago, these walls slowly developed into what we now call the Great Wall of China. It became one of the most famous structures in the world because of its great length and strength. Even today, it is known as the longest wall ever built by humans. Now, dear students, next heading on the next page, Building the Great Wall of China. The first parts of the Great Wall of China were made from stones and earth packed hard. Rain and wind have worn most of the old parts away. Later, people began to build with stone cut to the right size and shape. They kept on building new parts until about 600 years ago. Then people began to take away the stones to build houses. They made holes in the wall for tracks and roads to go through it. Today, this is not allowed. There are people who work hard to look after the wall. They repair it and clear away rubbish. Now, dear students, I am going to explain it. The building of the Great Wall of China took many years and was done in different stages. In the beginning, people did not have advanced tools or materials. So they used simple things like earth and stones. They pressed the earth very hard to make it strong and stable. However, these early parts of the wall were not very strong, and over time, rain and wind damaged them badly. Later, people improved their building methods. They started using stones that were cut into proper sizes and shapes. This made the wall stronger and more long lasting. Different rulers continued to build and repair the wall for many years, and the construction continued until about 600 years ago. After some time, people began to remove stones from the wall to use them for building houses. In some places, roads and tracks were also made through the wall. However, today this is not allowed because the wall is an important historical monument. Now, there are special workers who take care of the wall. They repair damaged parts, clean the area, and protect it so that future generations can see it. Now, dear students, it was all about the Great Wall of China. Now, the next heading on the next page, that is the first emperor of China. There were many groups of people in ancient China. Each group had its own land and ruler. They built walls to help keep their land and homes safe from attack. Again, from the next page, one of the rulers was Qin Shi Huang. He fought all the others with his army. He defeated them so he could rule them. He became the first emperor of China about 2200 years ago. Qin Shi Huang knocked down some of the old walls to make one empire. He kept others and built a new wall to join them up along the north of China. It was made from earth and stones. This became the Great Wall of China. Dear students, now I am going to explain it. In ancient China, there were many different groups of people, and each group had its own ruler and land. These rulers often fought with each other to gain more power and land. One of the most powerful rulers was Qin Shi Huang. He had a strong army and wanted to control all of China. He fought many battles against other rulers and defeated them one by one. After winning these battles, he brought all the different regions under his control. In this way, he became the first emperor of a united China about 2200 years ago. This was a very important moment in Chinese history because it was the first time China became one empire under a single ruler. Qin Shi Huang made many changes. He broke down some of the old walls that separated different regions, but he also kept some walls and joined them together. He ordered the building of a long wall in the north to protect the empire from attacks. This wall later became known as the Great Wall of China. His rule played a major role in shaping the future of China. Now, dear students, next heading on the next page, the Terracotta Army. One day in 1974, some farmers near the town of Xi'an in China were digging a well. They had a big surprise. They found large pieces of terracotta. When they dug away the earth, they saw that these were statues of soldiers and horses. They were the size of real people and horses. Archaeologists dug out more statues. They were in three big pits near the tomb of Qin Shi Huang. He had the model army made to guard the tomb. The work began when he was only 13. He was 49 when he died. Now, dear students, I am going to explain it. In 1974, some farmers near the city of Xi'an were digging a well when they found something very surprising. They discovered pieces of clay, and when archaeologists came and dug further, they found a large number of statues. These statues were made of terracotta, and they were shaped like real soldiers and horses. They were life sized, which made the discovery even more amazing. This discovery is now known as the Terracotta Army. These statues were found in three large pits near the tomb of Qin Shi Huang. It is believed that the emperor ordered the creation of this army to protect him in the afterlife. He wanted to remain powerful even after his death. The work on this army began when Qin Shi Huang was only 13 years old, and it continued for many years. He died at the age of 49, but the army remained buried underground for thousands of years until it was discovered. Today, it is one of the most important archaeological discoveries in the world. Now, dear students, next heading on the next page, that is silk from ancient China. A silkworm is really a caterpillar that turns into a moth. The moth lays its eggs on the leaves of a mulberry tree. A caterpillar comes out of each egg. The caterpillar makes silk, it spins the silk into a cocoon. It stays safe in the cocoon while it grows into a moth. A moth comes out of the cocoon. The people of China started keeping silk moths about 5,000 years ago. They wove the silk to make cloth. No one else knew how to do this. The Chinese kept it secret. They sold their silk all over the world. The Chinese silk traders traveled along the ancient Silk Road to take silk to places far away. Towns and cities grew up along the road because silk traders stopped along the way. Now, dear students, I am going to explain it. Please listen it carefully. Silk is a very soft and valuable fabric, and it was first made in ancient China. It comes from a small insect called a silkworm, which is actually a type of caterpillar. The process of making silk is very interesting and involves several steps. First, a moth lays its eggs on the leaves of a mulberry tree. When the eggs hatch, small caterpillars come out. These caterpillars eat the leaves and grow bigger. After some time, the caterpillar begins to produce silk and spins it around itself to form a cocoon. Inside this cocoon, it stays safe and slowly changes into a moth. When the moth is fully grown, it comes out of the cocoon. The people of China learned how to use this silk about 5,000 years ago. They used it to make beautiful and soft cloth. They kept the method of making silk a secret, so no other country knew how to produce it. Because of this, Chinese silk became very valuable all over the world. Chinese traders traveled long distances to sell silk. They used a famous trade route called the Silk Road. Along this road, many towns and cities developed because traders stopped there to rest and trade goods. In this way, silk helped in the growth of trade and the development of many places. Now, dear students, we have learned about ancient China, its Great Wall, its first emperor, the Terracotta Army, and the making of silk. These things show us how advanced and organized ancient China civilization was. Now, dear students, we have completed the chapter on ancient China, and you will prepare a presentation on this topic. And you should include these topics like introduction of China, the Great Wall of China, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, the Terracotta Army, silk making, and the Silk Road. Best of luck, students.